When you hit a bunch of home runs, typically you're going to win the game. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. I'm your host, Mike Jones, here with you again. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of the number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. That's right, and the voice of the Chicago Cub fan. Well, with that being said, the Chicago Cubs answer back after dropping their last two games with a resounding performance in today's game. Man, let me tell you guys something. The conditions were perfect, crisp, ripe for home run baseball. And let me tell you something, the Chicago Cubs did not disappoint. Ian Happ starts the game off going long. And then, of course, followed up by Kyle Tucker, who then goes long after him. The Chicago Cubs had the ball rolling to start this game, and they were not messing around. They were not playing around at all. So in the first inning, Ian Happ homered to left center. Kyle Tucker homered then to right center. And then after that, Horner grounded out in the second to shortstop, but Michael Busch scored off of that. And then Ian Happ comes back around, and in the second hits another home run, this time a 3-run shot. Then Michael Busch in the third homers, and he hits another a 3-run shot. And then after that, the Chicago Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong will get his 21st, team-leading 21st home run of the game. This game was not without fault. Actually, Pete Crow Armstrong missed two plays. I think he just lost the ball in the sun, and he couldn't find it, couldn't see where it was coming, and it dropped like right on the side of him or right behind him. I saw everybody. Hey, everybody that's on X that's giving my center fielder a hard time. You wish your center fielder could do what Pete Crow Armstrong does. So don't even come for the homie PCA, because he's having an MVP type season. He got his 21st home run of the season. Quit playing with my man, because he is on fire and continues to be on fire. I can't wait for him to get to St. Louis and show out there in St. Louis too. Nonetheless, Cal Raleigh, somebody needs to check his damn bat. Let me tell you something. Check Cal Raleigh's bat. There's no way. Dude, he had another home run. He had a home run off Daniel Palencia. His league leading. This has got to be what, his 29th home run of the season? Ridiculous. But he did go 1 for 5. So the Cubs kept him in check for the most part. No, I'm sorry. His 30th home run of the season so far. Check that man's bat. That's ridiculous. But can't hate the player. Can't hate the game. 30 home runs for Cal Raleigh. I'm sure Aaron Judge will end up catching up to him at some point. But still, that's insane numbers for before the All-Star break. But, it is what it is. Chicago Cubs do take care of business against the Seattle Mariners, tying up the series. They will go up against these Mariners again tomorrow. Colin Ray will be on the bump for the Cubs. Logan Gilbert will be on the bump for the Mariners. Logan Gilbert is 1-2 with a 2.55 ERA, and Colin Ray is 4-2 with a 3.84 ERA. Hopefully, Colin Ray has his best stuff ready and available, because Cal Raleigh is ridiculous. This man, Cal Raleigh, has 30 home runs, a batting average of 272. He has 64 RBIs already. That's sick. Pete Armstrong leads the Cubs with 21 home runs, 270 batting average, and 61 RBIs on the season. Him and Seiya Suzuki are tied for RBIs, both with 61 team leading RBIs. So, yeah, man, like I said, the Chicago Cubs are steaming, rolling right along. And like I said, it's amazing to see what the Chicago Cubs were able to do today with the ball blowing out. And you heard it from Craig Counsell at the beginning, before the game started. Before he did his in-game interview, he did his pre-game interview, where he said that the Chicago Cubs and the Seattle Mariners, he doesn't know how this game is going to go, but he has a feeling that if you get the ball up in the air, it will travel out. And man, if you got that ball anywhere near the jet stream, it was out of there. Chicago, Wrigley Field is hot. It's summertime now. It's 90 something degrees. We had one player almost pass out due to heat exhaustion. We also had an ump. We lost the ump in this game. We ended up having to do the rest of the game with three officials because the umpire almost passed out. He ended up going to the dugout and being done for the day. So crazy game. Don't really know what to tell you. I feel like, you know, you're going to see a lot more games like this during the dog days of summer at Wrigley. You better prepare yourselves, guys. Buckle up. It's going to be a crazy July and August. I just don't know what else to tell you about how Wrigley Field will play over those months. But it's going to be a crazy time, but it'll be a fun time. We're going to have a blast here on Chicago Cubs Central. And another reason why we're going to have a blast is because that's right. We got the great news. Shota Imanaga pitched 4.1 innings of shutout baseball in AAA yesterday. And because of that, Shota Imanaga is on his way back to the major leagues. He will pitch in the Chicago Cubs versus St. Louis Cardinal series. That's right. The St. Louis Cardinals versus the Chicago Cubs. You will have Shota Imanaga pitching on the bump for the Chicago Cubs. Now, will he be to a pitching limit? Probably so. I don't know how many pitches he'll be able to throw, but I'm sure they're going to watch him, monitor him closely. But that's right, y'all. Shota Imanaga is on his way back to the majors to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. Could not be more excited for this. It's going to be a great time watching Shota pitch, especially against the St. Louis Cardinals, who the Chicago Cubs will see after they finish up the last game on Sunday against the Seattle Mariners. Monday, 6:45 begins the series against the Cardinals. And Chicago Cubs, we got work to do. So, yeah, man, like I said, outside of that, it has been a great game, a great day for baseball, even though the Cardinals and the Reds both won. I'm sorry, the Cardinals beat the Reds on a walk-off. And the Brewers demolished the Twins. So, like I said, the Chicago Cubs just have to keep winning, man. You got to keep winning, and you got a big important series going up against the St. Louis Cardinals here in the next few days. So the Chicago Cubs have to continue to rack up victories, and I suspect that they will. Like I said, things will even out. With Shota Imanaga. With Shota Imanaga coming back, another roster move the Chicago Cubs made. They also did DFA Genesis Cabrera. I told you guys on yesterday's episode, I don't even know why Genesis Cabrera was a part of the Chicago Cubs, why they picked him up in the first place. Man has struggled. He struggled while he was here. The only time he didn't struggle was if the Chicago Cubs had a big lead. So I'm very glad that they DFA'd him. Nate Pearson is getting called, is getting back reinstated with the Chicago Cubs, so he will be available. This is more than likely probably his last shot with the Cubs. If he messes up, they probably will DFA him as well, or they will look to use him as straight bait. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. But yeah, man, one more game, another win, another victory for the Chicago Cubs, who are now 46-30 on the season. 4.5 games ahead of Milwaukee and St. Louis. So yeah, man, Chicago Cubs, keep doing what you got to do. And we're right in the thick of things for number one in the National League. So yep, guys, let's keep watching, keep cheering on the Chicago Cubs. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any thoughts below about today's game. And just like I said, voice your opinion. Remember, this is the number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs and the voice of the Chicago Cubs. So what do you guys expect out of Shota Imanaga when he returns? Would you keep Shota Imanaga on a pitch restriction, or would you allow him just to go all out because it is the series against the St. Louis Cardinals? Hey, and you know what we got to do, y'all. That's right. Chicago Cubs picked up another victory. They're 46th of the season. Fly the W. That's right. Every time the Chicago Cubs win, we fly the W here on Chicago Cubs Central. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to tap that bell so that you get notifications whenever new videos and content drop for this channel. Until tomorrow, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.